Before God increases anything in your life, your resources, your influence, your opportunities, your bank balance, He first reaches into the deepest and most sacred place within you, your mindset. Because God knows that if He blesses a person whose mind is still limited, fearful, doubtful, or trapped in old patterns, that person will lose the blessing, misuse the blessing, or never rise to the level the blessing requires. So before anything changes around you, God changes what is happening within you. When God begins to elevate your thinking, He does not do it halfway. He stretches your thoughts until they can hold dreams that once intimidated you. He expands your imagination until you can see yourself walking in rooms you once felt unqualified to enter. He widens your inner capacity so you can handle the opportunities He is preparing to release. Because God knows that if He can change the way you think, He can change the way you live. And once your life begins to align with His mindset, nothing can stop the increase that is meant for you. Many people cry out for financial miracles, but God responds by giving them mental miracles. He lifts the fog from their thinking, removes the lies, breaks the chains of fear, and suddenly they begin to see solutions where they once saw obstacles. They begin to see possibilities where they once saw impossibilities. They begin to see divine provision where they once only saw lack. Because God does not start by changing your environment. He starts by changing your perspective of the environment. Once your perception changes, what you once considered problems suddenly reveal themselves as platforms for elevation. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not money showing up in your account. It is courage showing up in your heart. It is discipline showing up in your habits. It is clarity showing up in your decisions. It is faith showing up in your words. These invisible miracles are the roots that sustain the visible miracles. A person with mental clarity is more powerful than a person with temporary blessings. A person with renewed thinking can create, steward, and multiply what God gives them, over and over without losing it. That is why God says, "Let me develop your mind before I develop your resources." You must understand that every financial level has a mindset attached to it. A small mindset cannot survive in a large blessing. A fearful mindset cannot handle financial freedom. A careless mindset cannot sustain abundance. So when God renews your mind, He is preparing you for the level you prayed for. He is strengthening you so the blessing does not crush you. He is aligning you so the increase does not confuse you. He is equipping you so the miracles do not overwhelm you. Divine elevation begins with divine preparation, and divine preparation begins with divine transformation. There are seasons when God isolates you not to punish you, but to rewire you. He removes distractions so He can deal with your thoughts. He closes doors so He can open your understanding. He slows things down so He can speed up your maturity. And in those quiet moments, He teaches you who you truly are. He shows you that you are not defined by what you have. You are defined by what He placed inside you. And once you know who you are, once your mindset is anchored, the blessings that come will not change your identity. They will amplify your purpose. Do not underestimate the power of a transformed mind. One shift in thinking can break a generational pattern. One shift in thinking can unlock strategies that change your entire financial trajectory. One shift in thinking can open divine creativity that births ideas, businesses, partnerships, and opportunities that your old mindset could not even imagine. You are one thought away from stepping into the life God designed for you. You are one revelation away from seeing yourself as God sees you. You are one decision away from leaving old limitations behind forever. But to embrace this new mindset, you must let go of the internal voices that contradict God's promises. You must silence the voice that says you will always struggle. You must silence the voice that says you are not worthy of abundance. You must silence the voice that says people like you do not rise. Those voices come from past experiences, but God is calling you into a future that does not look like your past. He is calling you into a mindset that reflects His power, not your history. And when your mind begins to match His vision, you become unstoppable. God will often challenge you to think in ways that seem uncomfortable. He will ask you to dream beyond the limits of your upbringing. He will ask you to speak words of faith when nothing physically looks different yet. He will ask you to act like someone who expects increase, even when you haven't seen it materialize. Because this is how He stretches your mindset. This is how He breaks small thinking. This is how He trains you to walk in the identity of a person who is destined for abundance, not someone who is just hoping for survival. There are people who pray for blessings, but think thoughts that block those blessings. They speak defeat while expecting victory. They think scarcity while praying for abundance. They act in fear while asking for miracles. But when God shifts your mindset, He aligns your thoughts with your prayers. He makes your words agree with your destiny. He teaches you to think like a person who already carries the blessing. And once your inner world aligns with your outer requests, heaven begins to respond with acceleration. This is why the battle for your destiny is the battle for your mind. The enemy does not fear your money. He fears the mindset that can multiply it. He does not fear your resources. He fears the renewed thinking that can turn small resources into great impact. He does not fear your opportunities. He fears the mindset that refuses to waste them. When your mind becomes renewed, you become dangerous to limitation, dangerous to fear, dangerous to every negative pattern that once held you back. And when God sees that your mindset has matured, He begins to entrust you with what you prayed for. Not because you begged long enough, but because you became strong enough. The moment your inner foundation becomes solid, the financial elevation begins. You begin to see increase in unexpected places. You begin to attract connections that carry divine purpose. You begin to receive ideas that are beyond your natural intelligence. You step into seasons that feel too big for your past, but perfectly designed for your renewed mind. Every financial blessing you will ever receive is already prepared in the spiritual realm. The only thing that must catch up is your mindset. When your mind rises to the level of the blessing manifests. When your thoughts become aligned with abundance, abundance begins to chase you. When your identity embraces worthiness, worthiness begins to clothe everything you do. So continue allowing God to transform you. Continue releasing the thoughts that keep you small. Continue embracing the thoughts that elevate your life. Continue choosing faith over fear, clarity over confusion, discipline over distraction, abundance over scarcity. You are being shaped into someone who can handle more than you ever imagined. You are being prepared for a level you once thought was impossible. And when the transformation is complete, the resources will come, the opportunities will come, the increase will come, not as a shock, but as a natural response to the person you have become. Because before God changes your bank balance, He changes your mindset. And once your mindset shifts, the blessing cannot be stopped. The elevation cannot be delayed. The increase cannot be withheld. The doors cannot remain closed. When the mind aligns with God, the life aligns with blessing. And you are standing in the middle of that transformation right now, becoming the person who can carry everything you once dreamed of and everything God always intended for you. When God begins the work of reshaping your inner world, He does it with precision and intention. He touches the corners of your mind you have ignored for years, places where insecurities hid quietly and where fears pretended to be facts. He shines light on the beliefs that kept you small, the stories you told yourself to avoid stepping into the life you were designed to live. And as He brings awareness, as He brings renewal, as He brings clarity, you begin to realize that the greatest shift is not happening outside you. It is happening within you. Because once the inner world is changed, the outer world must follow. You will start to think differently, not because someone motivated you for a few minutes, but because God is birthing a new pattern inside you. You will feel ideas flowing where once there were only doubts. You will sense purpose rising where once there was confusion. You will feel boldness pressing through old barriers, and you will begin to walk like someone who finally understands the calling on their life. This mindset shift is not emotional hype. It is spiritual transformation. And when God transforms the mind, everything attached to that mind transforms with it. This is why some blessings do not arrive when you expect them. It is not that God forgets your prayers. It is that He refuses to give abundance to a mindset that will mishandle it. He loves you enough to wait until you are ready. He loves you enough to build character, wisdom, and spiritual strength in you so that when the blessing shows up, you will not sabotage it. He loves you enough to prepare you before He promotes you. And preparation always happens in the mind before it manifests in the bank account. There is a reason God keeps nudging you to think bigger. There is a reason He keeps pulling you away from environments that limit your vision. There is a reason He keeps stirring restlessness inside you when you settle for less than what He placed within you. He is stretching your mindset to match the magnitude of your destiny. He is pulling you out of the mindset of survival and into the mindset of supernatural provision. He is teaching you that increase is not a miracle you wait for. It is a mindset you grow into. Many people want increase but still think from a place of fear. They want abundance but still make decisions from a place of lack. They want progress but still speak defeat over themselves. But when God begins to renew your mind, these old patterns break. Suddenly, you stop expecting the worst and begin expecting divine alignment. You stop fearing opportunities and begin embracing them with boldness. You stop doubting your worth and begin recognizing that you were created for more than you previously imagined. When your mindset is renewed, your actions begin to reflect who you are becoming rather than where you have been. You start showing up differently. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that does not come from arrogance, but from spiritual alignment. You start investing your time more wisely, understanding that every minute spent on purpose multiplies your future. You begin to value disciplines you once ignored. Discipline in thought, in habit, in prayer, in planning. And as discipline grows, divine opportunities begin to follow you because heaven responds to a mind that is prepared. Your mindset becomes the soil in which financial increase can grow. If the soil is rich, rich in faith, rich in vision, rich in responsibility, rich in discipline, then the seed of abundance will thrive. But if the soil is poor, polluted with fear, cluttered with doubt, hardened by past failures, then every blessing planted will struggle to take root. This is why God cultivates your mindset first. Because once your mind becomes fertile ground, the harvest will take care of itself. There will be days when the shift feels uncomfortable, when God exposes beliefs you did not know you were still holding on to. He will show you how your own thoughts have delayed what He intended to give you sooner. He will reveal how certain habits sabotaged your progress. He will confront the excuses you built to protect yourself from taking bold steps. And even though this feels challenging, it is the very process that unlocks your next level. Growth always begins with awareness. Transformation begins with truth. And once truth enters your mind, lies lose their power. You start recognizing that you are not trapped. You are not limited. You are not destined to repeat the same cycles. You are not too late. You are not too far behind. You are not too broken. You are not too inexperienced. The moment your thinking aligns with God's truth about you, the chains that held you mentally begin to fall. And as the chains fall, your capacity rises. You begin to see that God has already positioned opportunities along your path. You simply were not mentally ready to recognize them. You begin to see that God already placed people in your life who could help you. Your old mindset just didn't know how to receive help. You begin to see that doors were not closed. They were waiting for you to have the courage to knock. This is why a renewed mind is powerful. It reveals the blessings that were always there, but hidden behind the fog of old thinking. And then comes the moment when your inner shift becomes visible externally. People begin to notice your confidence. They see the glow of determination in your eyes. They hear authority in your voice. They sense your focus, your clarity, your rising expectation. And suddenly, opportunities start responding to you. Favor starts gravitating toward you. Resources begin aligning with you. Not because you chased them, but because your mindset now matches the frequency of abundance. God often uses renewed thinking to attract supernatural provision. Opportunities begin to flow because you think like someone who can handle them. Doors begin to open because you think like someone who belongs in those rooms. Finances begin to increase because you think like someone who will not waste the increase. Heaven responds to alignment. God responds to readiness. And readiness happens in the mind long before it happens in the material world. As your mindset expands, so does your capacity to dream. Your imagination stops being limited by your past and starts being fueled by your purpose. You begin planning for things you once considered unrealistic. You begin preparing for levels you once thought were unreachable. You begin speaking with the authority of someone who finally understands their divine identity. And when you speak from a renewed mind, your words carry weight. They create atmosphere. They open spiritual pathways. They call forth blessings waiting for your voice. You stop living as a product of your environment and start living as a product of your calling. You stop thinking like a victim and begin thinking like a visionary. You stop waiting for permission and begin moving in purpose. This inner shift is what God looks for before He releases financial elevation. Because a renewed mind will not lose the blessing. A renewed mind will not waste the blessing. A renewed mind will not fear the blessing. A renewed mind will rise with the blessing. Before God changes your bank balance, He changes your mindset because He wants the blessing to last, not just excite you momentarily. He wants you to build, to grow, to expand, to influence, to uplift others, not just to receive and stop there. A renewed mind can carry responsibilities that a limited mind cannot even comprehend. A renewed mind can manage abundance with wisdom. A renewed mind can create generational change instead of temporary improvements. And that is what you are being shaped into. A person who can carry divine increase with maturity, dignity, discipline, and faith. The transformation happening inside you right now is preparing you for opportunities that your old mindset could not have survived. The way you think today is shaping the life you will step into tomorrow. And as long as you allow God to keep renewing, stretching, and elevating your thinking, the abundance you seek will not just come, it will multiply. When God continues the work of renewing your mindset, He does it layer by layer, removing everything that once made you doubt yourself, everything that made you shrink, everything that made you settle for less. He takes away the fear that told you to stay quiet, and the insecurity that told you to stay small, and the doubt that told you to stay where you are. And as He removes these things, you begin to feel stronger inside than you have ever felt before. You begin to realize that the real transformation was never about money. It was about your identity, your courage, your faith, your internal capacity. Because when the mind is transformed, the blessing becomes inevitable. You start to understand that the financial increase you desire is not something you chase. It is something you grow into. You do not pursue it. It begins to pursue you. Because your mindset shifts from desperation to expectation, from worry to wisdom, from survival to abundance. And when your expectations rise, your atmosphere shifts. When your atmosphere shifts, your opportunities shift. When your opportunities shift, your outcomes shift. A renewed mind creates renewed results. You begin thinking at a higher level than the people around you. You begin seeing patterns that others miss. You begin identifying solutions that others overlook. You start recognizing potential in places where others see problems. This is the power of divine mindset transformation. God elevates your inner world so you can influence your outer world. He transforms your thoughts so you can transform your environment. And once your internal elevation becomes consistent, financial elevation becomes natural. There will come a moment when you look around and realize you are no longer the person who used to doubt, fear, or feel unworthy. You will notice that you no longer speak the language of limitation. You no longer entertain the thoughts that once drained your confidence. You no longer surround yourself with people who keep you small. Because as your mindset grows, your standards grow. As your standards grow, your circle changes. As your circle changes, your opportunities expand. God renews the mind so He can renew the people connected to your future. Your renewed mindset will draw new connections, people who inspire you, challenge you, and elevate you. It will attract mentors, partners, helpers, and supporters who see your potential and honor your purpose. It will bring you into alignment with individuals who speak the language of growth, who dream boldly, who think expansively. These connections are not coincidences, they are divine orchestrations. God places these people in your path because your mindset is now capable of recognizing and valuing their presence. As this transformation deepens, you begin to realize that wealth is not only about money, it is about wisdom, insight, opportunity, timing, discipline, and faith. Money is just one expression of abundance. The true abundance starts with clarity of purpose, strength of character, and depth of vision. And once these inner qualities become stable, money flows towards you because you are now someone who will use it for purpose, not ego for impact, not waste for growth, not destruction. You begin to notice how your renewed thinking influences the choices you make. You start saying yes to things that elevate you and no to things that drain you. You stop accepting opportunities that are beneath your calling. You stop giving energy to people who do not respect your direction. You stop wasting time on distractions that do nothing for your future. Your decisions become sharper, cleaner, and more intentional. And every intentional decision becomes a seed that produces a new level of abundance. As God reshapes your mindset, He also reshapes your habits. He teaches you discipline where you used to choose comfort. He teaches you patience where you used to rush. He teaches you responsibility where you used to avoid accountability. These shifts might seem small, but they become the structure that supports your future increase. Because a renewed mindset always produces renewed habits, and renewed habits always produce renewed results. You begin to embrace work that aligns with your destiny. You begin to put effort into ideas that once felt too big. You start noticing how God places divine strategies in your spirit, strategies that can create new streams of income, new opportunities, new influence, new impact. These ideas are not random, they are seeds God planted in your renewed mind. A limited mind could not have received them, but your expanded mindset welcomes them with boldness and clarity. This inner transformation also changes how you respond to challenges. Where you once felt overwhelmed, you now feel equipped. Where you once felt defeated, you now feel determined. Where you once felt anxious, you now feel anchored. Because your renewed mindset sees problems as preparation, not punishment. It sees obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. It sees delays not as denial, but as divine timing requiring greater readiness. You begin to notice that God is not just changing your thoughts, He is changing your emotional reactions. You no longer panic easily. You no longer doubt quickly. You no longer quit abruptly. You are grounded. You are centered. You are aligned. This emotional maturity is part of the mindset shift because financial blessings require emotional stability. God is shaping you into someone who can remain steady at higher levels. As you continue to embrace this transformation, you start seeing your future differently. You no longer imagine a life of limitation. You imagine a life of overflow, impact, freedom, and purpose. You no longer dream small dreams. You dream God-sized dreams. You no longer plan from a place of fear. You plan from a place of destiny. And as your dreams expand, your faith expands. As your faith expands, your capacity expands. As your capacity expands, your doors expand. People may look at your life and wonder how things are changing for you so quickly. They may think it happened overnight. They may think it was sudden, but they will not see the internal work, the silent battles, the quiet prayers, the inner surrender, the mental breaking of limitations. They will not see the nights when God was reshaping your thinking or the moments when He confronted your doubt. They will only see the results, but you will know that everything began with a mindset transformation. When your mindset shifts, your life cannot stay the same. You begin to operate at a different spiritual frequency. You begin to move with a confidence that comes from revelation, not arrogance. You begin to see yourself as God sees you, capable, anointed, valuable, chosen, and destined for increase. And from that identity, you step boldly into opportunities that once intimidated you. You speak with authority where you once whispered. You take action where you once hesitated. You stand tall where you once shrunk. And with every step forward, heaven responds. With every act of faith, doors open. With every renewed thought, blessings align. With every elevated decision, opportunities expand. Because once your mindset rises, your life is required to rise with it. God has been preparing you for increase from the inside out. And the work He started in your mind is leading you into the life He always intended you to walk in. A life where financial increase is not a miracle you chase, but a natural fruit of the person you have become. The powerful conclusion from this speech is this: before God blesses you with abundance, He is first blessing you with a renewed mindset. Your financial increase, your opportunities, and your breakthroughs cannot last unless your mind is prepared to carry them. Transformation begins internally. Your thoughts, beliefs, habits, and expectations must align with the destiny God has placed within you. When your mindset rises, everything around you rises. Fear, doubt, limitation, and past failures lose their power. Faith, clarity, vision, and discipline become your new foundation. God's increase always follows mental and spiritual readiness. Therefore, focus on renewing your mind, embracing growth, and thinking in alignment with your divine purpose. When you do this, no obstacle can hold you back, no delay can stop you, and no lack can remain in your life. You are being prepared for a level of blessing far greater than you can imagine. And once your mind is ready, the overflow will follow naturally.